Hey guys, welcome to another episode and the very first episode of the In the Shadow podcast. And I'm your host, Tony the Source Assassin. And also we have the co-host here. We have Martin and we have Eric in the show today. And since this is the first show, we will let Martin and Eric kind of introduce themselves a little bit. Let's start with Martin. Martin, go ahead.
Sure. What's going on, everybody? My name is Martin Amaya. I've been part of the Legion for, are we talking about the Legion?
Yeah, okay.
I've been part of the Legion since the beginning. I've been smoking cigars for about 12 years. And I used to have a YouTube channel and then it got canceled. And I now have been working towards a new channel and working on some other social medias.
Hey, thank you, Martin. And we have Eric.
My name is Eric. I'm here for the truth and only the truth.
Very well. And for those people who doesn't know me, Tony the Source Assassin. I'm the leader of the Shadow Smokers Legion. And we just really want to start this podcast for everybody's enjoyment, right? We're going to have some topic that we talk about, as well as seeking for opinions and truth, right? And sometimes our opinion might not match yours. And so listen to this podcast with a grain of salt. You know, we all have different opinions, and this is really a show where we talk about different things and bring it to awareness, and hopefully everybody gets a kick out of it. So now since it's the first episode, let's talk about something very basic. Let's start with the general high level recording of a problem. Like, the question would be, what is the biggest problem with the cigar industry? And we can pick one from that whole list of mess and talk about today. Okay, so Martin, what do you think is the biggest issue with the cigar industry today?
Well, that's a pretty broad question, but nothing really comes to mind. I know one of the biggest issues right now we are facing is we've got the FDA that is trying to categorize smoking cigars the same as cigarettes and vape and even marijuana. And I guess one of the things that we're trying to do as cigar smokers is to educate the community and let everyone know that cigar smoking is in fact different than those other forms of smoking.
Okay, for Eric, what do you think is the biggest issue with the cigar industry today?
Well, Martin have a good point with the FDA thing. And for me, it's the pricing, right? People are just price gouging or testing the water, changing fantolas to drive up the price with the same cigars.
Okay, and then that really connects to I would say consumer issue, right? Because ultimately it affects the consumer the most. So let's talk about cigar blend and cigar prices as a topic today. Okay, so I think the biggest issue today is that there isn't a lot of blends out there that you consider as different. Now, if they're not very different, why do they cost different? Why do we have cigars that's $8, $20? And why do we have cigars that's $100, $200 for the same blend? Like, for example, I've seen in the most recent TPE and other trade shows, cigar shops are just releasing cigar blends with mostly Mexican San Andreas blends. And if they are all using that kind of blends, San Andreas and broadleaves, as their primarily blend, why do we have cigars that are $8? And why do we have cigars that are 20, 50, 60 and more?
Well, you got the aging of the tobacco, of course. That's a big thing.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Okay, well, let's put aging in perspective. And when it comes to aging, there is a process, right? Now, just because you have a cheaper cigar, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not been aged. All cigar has to be aged somewhat, to an extent. right? And like, for example, alcohol has to be aged, bourbon has to be aged 8 years. So what makes it, bourbon can be $30 a whole entire bottle, but tobacco that you're smoking aged for 8 years costs you $20, $40, $60, $80.
Well, you got the processing, you've got the fermentation, you've got everything that is affecting the price.
And you think that's the only reason that's affecting the price? I mean, in terms of processing, right? A lot of fermentation process is, I think the biggest part, let's just say the biggest part is leave it there. Have somebody go look at it, make sure nothing's wrong with it, and walk away.
But
you got to flip it. You got to flip the pilotos and make sure that they're getting enough humidity, because when you have a pallet of tobacco, which is called a piloto, you're basically rotating the tobaccos from top to bottom. The lower it is on the pallet, the hotter it is. So you're trying to let some of that hot air escape. So you're rotating the tobacco from the bottom to the top and constantly doing that.
Right. So how often do you think they do that?
I think daily. I mean, I don't know. They would rotate a little bit here and there.
Okay, so let's say it's daily. How much do you think it will cost a factory to rotate that daily?
I don't know.
For a factory that's not in the country, that's not in the state, we're paying like pennies.
Let's go a little bit back on this particular subject, because we can, all this tobacco are aged somewhat. It could be 2-year age, it could be 8-year age, it can be whatever amount of age. Aging process is nothing new, right? Aging, we don't. It's not something like, oh, we only started doing it recently. So back in the day, we can sell cigars at $1, but somehow now it's 20.
Okay, so do you think, because like bourbon and stuff, right? They don't get put into the same categories as tobacco and stuff, because with the FDA, it's harder to work with. Is that the reason why the price is going up? Because it's harder to get through the FDA?
I wouldn't say that's a problem. No. I mean, the FDA fight has always been there, at least the past 10 years, right? The FDA fight is always there. The cigar price is going up because what I'm seeing recently, the usual excuse was, number one, the tax goes up, cost goes up, and also they use the aging, the rarity of the cigar leaves to justify their prices. And that's the part where I don't understand, because they're pumping out more cigars nowadays, right? Way more than before. Yeah. So if they can pump out that much cigar, they're ramping up their production. Why is it more expensive? Usually when you make something more, like when you have more of something, cost goes down. If you think about that. Right? Usually when I have something brand new today, I don't have a lot of production of that. All right, cost goes down.
So it's gonna, well, if you have something new or limited, you are gonna have a higher price point, depending on age or whatever the fact may be. But I don't know, I just feel like you are paying for the time and work that it took to get that cigar from seed to smoking. And there's I mean, it could be the tobacco is very rare. I mean, we don't know what the whole processing is on how they price their cigars or whatever, but in the end, you want to get your money's worth.
Right. And let's put one very obvious that will fit this problem today, okay? So, Steve Saka, Brulee.
Oh, we're going there, are we?
We'll go there. So we'll go straight there. We'll go straight there.
There. All right, let's go.
Steve Saka's Brulee. How much does it cost? Standard.
It's about I think about $15. $15.
Right, I'd say it's $15. That's even given the benefit of doubt. You go to a really expensive shop, you pay $20 for it. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's say you pay $20 for it, and now they're releasing the unicorn version of that, which is the same tobacco, technically, right? Same blend, same tobacco, different
Yeah,
vitola.
so what's the fucking blend? Why is it so different and you're charging $100 for it?
Exactly. Now, why is it $100 now with 5 times the price?
Because he says a limited edition shape. So
It is, but the tobacco is not the factor anymore, right? Tobacco is
At
the same
all.
tobacco.
that's where I came from.
It's the same
People
tobacco.
changing price. People changing price because of vitolas.
Yeah, who gives a
You know?
shit? It's the same tobacco.
Right. Okay. So let's say the vitola is harder to roll. And you had to hire somebody that's way more experienced to roll that perfecto, which I think in the industry wouldn't be a problem because he's not the only one that rolls the perfecto shape, right? So why is everybody can release to a vitola of perfecto in $20 range? In fact, the Davidoff limited edition one's 45. Why is his perfecto, and it's much bigger and a different kind of perfecto? If you ever smoke that one has a bigger radius in the middle. It's actually fatter of a perfecto.
Yeah,
So it's like the Salomon. So is it like a Salomon?
It's
No.
not. It's not a Salomon. It's just that the body of the perfecto has higher. It gets fatter in the middle.
When it get peak, it's 61 ring gauge.
So why is that one $45, but Sobremesa Brulee gets to be $100?
Well, for his excuse was he paid a lot to make that mold. That he made the mold himself or something like that.
But so is everybody else who's using the perfecto.
I don't know. Maybe he's got some very rare unicorn juice that he put on the cap.
Unicorn juice to put on the cap. But you see what the problem is that, right? There's literally that. Is that they get to set whatever price, and it's not justified by the actual processing of it. It's not justified by how rare the leaves are. It's not justified by how rare that cigar is, because the owner gets to decide how rare that is. The owner goes to the shop, go to the factory, and go, you know what? I need 10,000 of these cigars. Right? He decides how many to make. So he decides the range. But how does that become $100 cigar? Because we've smoked many other cigars that are perfecto shape. It's not the only one out there.
No,
Right?
that's plenty.
So he's only justifying the price because it's a different
unicorn.
size and it's limited.
Yeah, that it bump
But
up.
it's the same fucking tobacco.
It is.
Yeah, it's the
So
same.
why the
the
fuck
same
am I
line.
It might
more
has a
for it?
different filler because now you had to make it a bigger gauge, so you had to add more filler in there.
More fillers. yeah.
Right. But even that, it should not justify $100 price range, right?
No, he basically bumped it up
No.
like 80%, right? Basically,
Well,
80% up.
No, it's 5 times the price. $20 or $100 is 5 times the price.
For Vitola, you know?
That's retarded.
And they make no sense.
Right? It already didn't make sense when he first came out with the whole brulee thing, which he claimed to not be sweet, which is fine. He can say whatever he wants. He's the guy who came out with it.
Yeah, we know how it is.
Right. But why is it $100? And I don't think that's the only one, right? You have another one that's also
No.
perfecto.
Yeah, Micarita Black.
Okay, and that cigar originally is how much?
Around $15 as
Right.
well.
Like $15.
Okay,
Yeah.
again, 5 times the price just because he changed that. And it's not like he had to, you know what, I'm gonna buy a mold for the brulee, and then now I had to go find someone else to buy the mold for that another cigar. He's using the
Yeah,
same
you already
mold.
have the mold.
Yeah, once
Yep.
you have the mold, you have the mold. So why is it 5 times the price?
He probably got the mold from Gurkha.
I've never smoked a Gurkha Perfecto, so I can't tell you. But,
I mean, I don't know. They jack up their fucking price for everything anyway, too. So
but like, how much does it
maybe-
cost to make a mold?
I don't know,
$300
price of
bucks,
the wood.
$400, $500. Let's say $1,000. How many mold do you need? Because once it goes on the mold, I think for how long do they leave it there? A week?
Is it even a week?
I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be years.
I don't think it's
I
going
don't
to
know
be
the
like a
exact
week.
number.
though.
I don't think it's that long though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be very long, right? So they go to the next batch right away because whoever is working on the next will have to put the wrapper on. It cannot be there too long, right? And they
I
don't
mean, I
do.
think if I think if it were something like the Plasencia Sixto, I mean, you have the six-sided cigar, it would have to be in there longer, but not for a Perfecto.
Not for Perfecto, yeah, because that whole shape was already rolled into that pointing shape, okay? Granted, now you cannot use a machine rolling anymore. You have to roll that Perfecto, so you have to hand roll that, whatever that is, right? Even that, it should not jack up the price by 5 times. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Whoever is buying it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you that you end up buying it.
And they will buy it.
Yeah, Eric.
Because we got the fanboys.
First of all, I'm not a fanboy, but I might. But
just because it's that price.
No, we'll buy it just to review it, just to try it.
Just to try it. But I wouldn't be like, oh, it's not because of the price. Dude, I don't buy cigar for the price. I mean, sometimes I do, but not like, you know.
Well, buying cigar for the price is kind of the opposite. It's like, you got a good deal, let's buy it. You know, it's not like, hey, this cigar is $200, but it tastes like crap, let's go buy it.
Yeah, it's not like that. Like, once I smoke it, review it, I would say it's not even close, probably, you know. But I wouldn't know until I try it.
Yeah, and that's a big problem with the industry. And, you know, Steve Saka is not the only one that does that. Some companies don't care. For example, if we talk about high-end brands, they don't really care. In fact, a lot of people think Opus X is really expensive. It's not really their fault. It's not really their fault. It's because the stores jack up the price because how many they receive. Most store gets 1 or 2 boxes, and they want to make the most out of that money. So, you know, MSRP $45, they jack it up to $80, $100. And it's not really their fault because the MSRP was not set that high to start with. But something like that particular unicorn, the MSRP is set that price.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous, right?
Yeah, and really the big problem is the keystone structure. The keystone structure and what the manufacturer is setting up the price. You cannot sell it for less than whatever they want, right? They will be like, okay, I want this cigar to be sold $100. You can only sell it at $100. No discounts allowed, right? They purposely do that so that you'll have a hard time get it. But sometimes I understand they only want certain type of customer, they only want certain type of client, smoker to smoke those cigars. So they set it so that it's outlet reach for some people. But doing this is really hurting the consumer. Because, I mean, some people, we have a lot of smokers that only smoke $8 cigars. Right? We have a lot of smokers that will not buy any cigar more than $15. And they are left out of that range, right? They're like, I'm not gonna, I don't think I can afford a $100 cigar because $100 could be 3 bundles, could be 4 bundles of cigar, could be a box of cigars, right? And most of the time, you can go buy a box of Oliva V with that money, $100. And they're not gonna go buy a unicorn to smoke it just to show off because that's a whole 10-day worth of cigar.
Right.
And they're doing that to hurt the consumer, and that's a big problem. You know, it's something that they want to make it rare, they want to release so much of it, but they're not justifying the price. There's something that justifies price, okay? There's something that doesn't, right? Because they didn't say how many unicorn they made. They can say rare it is, but for example, like Pleasure of the Legion that we smoked recently, they tell you there's 1776 boxes.
Yep.
So you know how many they made, and you know the price.
That's limited.
Yeah, the price goes up because there's 1776 boxes of it, and they only make that many, and we know how much they make, so price goes up. But unicorn, they don't tell you how many they make. I've seen that cigar everywhere. So it's not limited. For them, it's not limited, but yet they charge you $100 for it. And yet himself goes up and says, I don't know why people buy that cigar. I don't think it's worth $100, but you're selling it $100.
And he asked himself why, right?
Right?
Like what?
I remember 2019 or 2018 when Tim Swanson started first selling the unicorn. We thought it was rare. And today you can still buy unicorn.
Yo, you buy unicorn everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's not like, oh, you can sir, you can only buy 1 per person per purchase. No, it's like, you know, you want to spend $100, buy as many as you want. We got plenty.
Yep.
So it's not rare.
It seemed like it's never out of stock.
It's not rare. Right, and obviously we have something that, you know, for a higher brand too. Oro Blanco is definitely not worth $600.
Yeah. So that's like on the same lines as you're spending all this money for one cigar. So what makes his tobacco so great that he's charging $100, and then Davidoff is charging what, $500 for their Oro, and it's still a regular release?
Or no, Oro Blanco is not a regular release.
Okay.
They are limited, and they did say it was limited to start with. I think in the beginning they did say how many they made, and I do believe that because the price range, that not many people bought it until today. They ran out. Like they literally ran out of it. They discontinued it. So it's if you can find it, you know, $600. That's what it is. But they did put a lot of effort on the packaging, the box. If you feel the box, you know what I'm talking about. Compare that box to a unicorn box.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, you get a coffin.
Yeah.
You get actual drawer. You get actual small drawer, right? So I'm not saying that that box alone is worth $600, but it does feel like there is a limitation to it. It does feel like there is so many you can get, right? But unicorn doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way. And like I say that it feels like there is a limit when people say, I go to Davidoff, I see plenty of Oro Blancos. Well, how many people you see go to the shop to buy Oro Blancos?
Not a lot, I'll tell you that.
Right? In fact, you can go to YouTube and find a handful of people that ever reviewed Oro Blanco.
Yep. Nobody.
And when I say handful, 3 of them is me. Right?
No, there's another guy. There's a few guys out there, but yes, 3 of them is you.
But it's still a handful. Right? It's probably, 10 videos maybe?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. This is a handful.
I'm about to be the 11th.
But if you look at review for unicorn, I bet I can find 30, 40 easy.
Oh, a lot of people review the unicorn. And most of them say it's
it's more attainable.
Right? But if it's limited, if it's not like a regular production, you got 30, 40 people that easily review that cigar, that cigar should be gone. But yet, they're going along and make even more blend for that unicorn series. It makes no sense. Right?
Well, maybe because the regular unicorn is running out of tobacco.
It still makes no sense. Okay, even Davidoff's year of the Zodiac release, they release once a year. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's only $40 a stick. Okay, Year of the Rabbit is $50, but I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. And I think that because they want to make that special shape, it's kind of like a long, weird, oval torpedo.
Yeah, trying to make it look like a rabbit ear or something.
Yeah, but okay, let's give them that. But even that, so let's say they had to do that. They had to make a mold. It's a limited release. And they had to make a box that's lacquered, beautiful design. Find a designer to do that. It's still $40 a stick.
Yep.
Right? Still $40 a stick. How is unicorn become $100 stick?
Well,
because it's individually boxed.
Okay, you can say individually boxed, but they're still wood box. They're not lacquered or decked out or anything like that. Right? They look like the box for the Bosner barrel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that cigar is what, $40?
Yeah.
So, you know, how did they get that to that price? And then that shows the problem with the industry, right? Some people are just using their fame and all that stuff and go like, I want to release a cigar only idiots will buy. And yeah, we're the idiots.
Yes, we are.
Right? I personally bought a few unicorn.
I'm not.
I personally bought a unicorn.
I bought a few, to tell the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. I not only I bought a few, I received a few.
Y'all are the idiots.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Even though I'm saying that, you know, the idiot bought it, but I'm just saying that we are the victims of those price gouging, right? Not only from the manufacturer, from the stores too. I remember the Andalusian bowl to be $18.
Oh, Andalusian bowl is not going for $18 no more.
What do they go for now?
It depends where you get it. I remember at the time when it's rare, and the time that's rare is $56 a stick.
Mm-hmm.
And they make it require so that you had to buy 2 other sticks before you can buy that 1 stick. And it's 1 per person. But yeah, if you go to the event, you can buy 2 boxes per person.
Thing is, I haven't found a shop that actually have the box, dude.
Right now, I can go to most shop and I find a few sticks. Not a complete box, but they have a few sticks there. But they will still selling you at $40. But the MSRP on that cigar is 18.
That's crazy.
The price gouging from those shops is ridiculous.
Price gouging on rare or hard to obtain cigar is insane.
Yeah, and it's keep in mind they are already Keystone. Like I said, the Keystone is the problem, right? Because Keystone, that means Oro Blanco really only costs $250. When you double it up, you double like crazy. So $1,000 cigar would be $2,000. They earn $1,000 profit. And we are the person that's the victim.
That's insane.
Well, it's hard to say that we're a victim, right? Because we are willing to do it.
Well, willing to do it doesn't mean you're not the victim of it. You have no other choices. If you're gonna smoke that cigar, you better dish out the money. Right? You better go like, okay, here's the money, please take it. Please do take it.
Shut up and take my money.
Right? Shut up and take my money. And that's the case, right? It's because all the shops decide to, okay, I only got 1 box of this, I'm gonna make the most out of it, which I understand business-wise, that makes sense. But you're not treating your customer right if you're doing it that way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? They know how much they bought the cigar for. And, unfortunately, we kind of know too because the Keystone structure.
Or you could also go to Sanjay's shop and pay MSRP.
Well, he doesn't have all the cigars, unfortunately. Right? And that's one cigar shop I won't go into because it's far away from me.
No, it's when you get in there, he's just trying to sell you all the SP.
Probably. Well, there's a good reason for that, right?
That's where he makes all his money.
Yeah, I mean, House Blend makes the most money. We know that because they pay the factory price, right? They don't pay the retail price. They don't pay the manufacturer price. They pay the factory price, right? So, a lot of time when you make your own cigar, the cigar costs $3 to make, and they have to sell it. For example, all right, let's say Casa Cuevas or American Viking, right? From the factory to be created, that cigar probably costs $3, right? And then from Casa Cueva to sell it to others, Casa Cueva has made money, right? So Casa Cueva raised that double. Now they make these $6 to the shop, and the shop sells for $12, right? So it's been doubled twice. So we know the cigar actually really costs $3. So for Sanjay to sell you that SP, I don't know, $9, $10, $9, let's say it's $9, he might make that cigar for $3 and make the profit $6 because he doesn't have to Keystone his own cigars.
That's true.
So he actually make the most money out of that compared to any other cigar which he can only make Keystone. But people don't think about that. Right? When we go to the shop, we're like, okay, $20 cigars. We don't think that, okay, this cigar actually really costs $10 to the retailer, right? And then if you calculate that in, the company has to make money. This cigar really costs $5 to make.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
Right? $5 out of the shop, boxed, everything. $5 a stick. It goes to the shop, $10. And then we sell it to you, $20. So they make $10 for selling it to you by keeping the cigars in their shop. And that's totally fine too. But when they go, because I only got 2 boxes, now you guys have to pay $40. Now that's greedy. That's greedy.
No.
So
that's too much.
Steve Saka, on an interview I heard one time that he only makes a specific amount on every cigar that he sells. So if he's selling these cigars for $100, he's only making a specific profit amount. Not percentage, it's like a single dollar amount, from my understanding. I don't know the 100%.
Uh-oh. Okay, we can cut that out. It's fine.
So if he's only making a specific amount per cigar, you're not spending $80 per cigar to make it. I mean, I don't care how rare the tobacco is. Supposedly he's like he's basically taking the tobacco leaves off of the plant so that all of the nutrients go to one specific leaf, and then using those leaves to make a cigar. That's supposedly the whole story behind it, and that's why he charges so much for it.
But don't every manufacturer, every tobacco farm does that? You know, they rip from the bottom up and they wait.
No, hold on. Whatever Martin just said, that's what every manufacturer. They go to a manufacturer and says, I need 10,000 cigars. It's not like, keep making it, I need a limited amount. They go there and order X amount of it. So that's every manufacturer. You don't go to a manufacturer that says, keep pumping out the cigar. I don't care how many you make, we'll take them out.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Right? They order X amount and then go to their box factory, order X amount so that it will be packaged. So that whatever that story is, well, yeah, it's true, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't affect how much money you're making out of it or how much cigar you're making out of it, because you made that choice to make how much X amount of cigar to start with, and that's with every brand. So that story wouldn't make sense.
I just think he overcharges for the cigars for what it is.
Oh, I think so too. I really think so. But as a boutique, usually, okay, I understand this. Okay, boutique usually costs a little bit more than regular heritage cigars, right? Because they don't pump out that much. Sure, right? But not like that. Not on a cigar that we know you have a different Vitola, all of a sudden it's 5 times the price.
Yeah, that's retarded.
Right? It makes no sense. 5 times the price for a little change.
Yeah, add a little bit more tobacco to it.
Yeah, but that tobacco is part of it's filler, right? We're talking about filler here. It's not like
a great wrapper or anything like that.
It's not like, you know what? I added 5 ounces of gold in there. Now it's $100.
It's like, dude, give me a Churchill, then maybe it's worth $100.
Right, but if you say that is I added 5 ounces of gold in there, $100 now, it makes perfect sense.
5 ounce, boy, that cigar gonna be heavy.
That will be literally a unicorn, right? That will literally be a unicorn. Right? But like, you know, the way that he's doing this does not make sense. Right? And I'm not saying that other cigar brand doesn't do that. It's just that I happen to pick these brands as examples. I'm pretty sure other cigar brand does that as well. I mean, that Gurkha $1.3 million cigar is not worth $1.3 million.
Yeah, like what's up with
that? That thing is a joke. That thing is a joke.
But imagine this: if it's Keystone, that cigar was $650,000. So they sell one cigar, they make $650,000.
That dude went and grabbed fucking tobacco from Mars.
Right? Granted, they aged it and infused with another cognac that's ridiculously expensive. Sure, yes. Right? But how much juice do you need to infuse a cigar?
Well, they did put diamonds on it.
A couple ounces.
They put diamonds on it, and here's the thing though. Those diamonds on those things must be tiny.
It is. Oh, it's all a total of, I don't know. They are tiny though.
I think they said like 5 carat for the entire box.
Yeah, for the entire box, 5 carat worth of diamonds.
Yeah, it does not cost millions of dollars to buy 5 carats.
No, it doesn't.
Even if you add all that price in there, it will not be $650,000 to make it.
Well, does it count with the packaging? And
I'm talking about even with the package and everything, it will not cost $650,000 to make it.
Well, the presentation on it's pretty cool. To tell the truth. They have this like crazy machine looking thing.
Sure. But you
pay for the presentation.
Yeah, but we're talking about a stick.
I know.
You're right.
How much is that box? Was that $10 million? $13 million?
Yeah, around there. It's like
So-
10 million or something like that.
Yeah, so you pay $10 million for a box and 10 cigars.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I'm sorry, $10 million, I can buy a mansion to put my cigar in there. All
dude.
decked out with diamonds and gold.
Jesus Christ.
$10 million, you can buy a mansion, plus some land in the back, and cows and horses, and 50 beautiful ladies to hold a cigar standing every day for you. Like you open the
Fanning
door.
me.
You open the door, you just have ladies holding the cigar on their hand. They've been standing there for 24 hours.
Yep.
And you know, if you want to, you can have guys, all muscular guys, Mr. America, standing there holding 2 cigars at a time, standing at the door, says, "Would you like to have a cigar?" $10 million, you can keep that going for a long, long time.
I'll pass that on that.
But you know what I'm saying, right? $10 million is not a small amount. $10 million, you can buy the mansion from Big Papi. From Big Papi.
Oh, you probably can, yes.
Yeah. $10 million, you can buy a house from it. Pretty much majority of the celebrity.
Yeah.
Yep.
And imagine selling that $1 cigar, somebody just became a millionaire from that. $5 million profit.
That's... Oh, my God.
You see how dangerous Keystone is? They're not making, like, for that cigar, they're not making hundreds of thousands. They're making millions of dollars from Keystone. So, like, I mean, $6 cigar, Keystone it, $12. Not too bad. $10 cigar, Keystone it, $20. Okay. $30 cigar, Keystone it, $30. Okay. Now you're getting, like, you know, $60 cigars, kind of get it there.
$60. No,
Right?
it's that. $60 is like pinnacle of...
It's pretty much
cigars,
the,
right?
the
Like-
standard for the high-end cigars, right? Like, you know,
Yep.
even Padrones at that range, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then you start to have the... So that cigar production cost increased by $20. Now you're at $100 range cigars. Just $20 more.
That's nuts. But we are the suckers.
Right? You see how bad that
I'm
is?
not.
Well, Martin, you're different. I mean, obviously, we're talking about different background, different affordability for people, right? But imagine just somebody that smokes $8 cigar, or someone that's regularly smoking bundles like $5 cigars, $3 cigars.
The people who are buying these cigars are not cigar smokers. They're looking for a statement cigar.
That's not
Someone
true.
who's
I
going to
smoke those
smoke a
cigars.
cigar. No, I'm just saying, like, if you see a person who's smoking, oh, I've got this really exclusive tobacco cigar, it's $10,000. I'm smoking it because I have the money and I can smoke it. Dude, you're smoking it because you don't know about cigars. You don't know where tobacco came from. I can give you a fucking $10 cigar and it would smoke better than the one that you're smoking.
I would say that's not necessarily true. Like Michael Jordan, he smoked a lot of cigars, right? And Michael Jordan cigars, what, $13,000 a stick? Directly from Cohiba?
Yeah, you do that.
Michael Jordan's cigar has a cigar for $13,000?
I think his cigars I ordered directly from Cohiba, $13,000 a stick.
Well, Cohiba is another company that does that. They price gouge.
What, from Cuba?
From Cuba.
Oh, Cubans.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael Jordan has a Cuban cigar?
He orders that for himself. He custom blended for himself, just for him to smoke.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Right,
Never
so
heard that.
so you know, it's not like he doesn't know cigar. He knows. Well, like Arnold, I don't know what Arnold has for in his humidors, but Arnold probably have some ridiculous amount of cigars, and he knows the cigar. He's got to buy some expensive one to keep and smoke. So it's not necessarily the people who doesn't know cigars. Do we have those people that just like, I never smoked a lot of cigars, but I'm gonna go buy $100 cigar because my first time going in, I'm gonna show off? Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Yep.
But there's also people like me or Eric or a few other people that will spend and splurge on some cigars that may be collectible to smoke.
Okay.
But obviously, I'm not talking about $10,000 cigar. We're talking about, between $100 and $500.
Yep. Not like thousands of dollars.
And here's the thing: I don't see anything in between. Do you? Name a $200 cigar?
I can't think of one.
The golden one. What's that one?
That's not 200. It's 100 something and change.
Gurkha makes a cigar that's about $250.
Okay, $250. Name a $300 cigar.
$300 cigar? $300 cigar?
Another Gurkha. I don't know.
I can't.
All right, name a $400 cigar.
Well, Oliva is releasing a $300 cigar.
Yeah, they haven't got there yet. So when they got there, we'll see. But what I mean is that it's really weird that range is, right? So below 100, there's a lot, and there's quite a bit of $100 cigars, right? But once you pass that, it's hard to find $200 cigar, $300 cigar, $400 cigar, but $500 cigar range starts to pump up.
It starts ramping.
Right? There's nothing in between, but all of a sudden, boom, 500 cigars. Everybody want to release a $500 cigars, right? And then nothing in between. Now you went to $10,000 cigars.
Like it seemed like
it's
to me
like
right now.
It's like where you have the price range that most people would pay, and then you have a price range of where only the elite would pay, or above what the normal consumer would pay. I think 100 for most people, generals, cigar smokers would spend about $100 on a cigar if they had the money and the budget for it. But then you have the people who are spending 500 plus for like the exclusive rare Davidoffs and stuff like that. But if you price it at about $100, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna spend the money and I'm gonna get me this rarer cigar, something I would normally smoke.
But that rare cigar is usually about $60 to $70 range.
Right.
Not $150, $200.
Yeah, no. It's like you get into a different type of clientele.
Because like remember we did like a survey, kind of asked what people were maximum to put out for a cigar. Majority are 15 and under. Nothing more than a 15.
The most I would spend would be $25 on a cigar.
Yeah, and then the $25 will get you to that Davidoff range. Technically, right? You're getting majority of the brand minus some Padrones, minus Opus X, some Opus X. There are $25 Opus X MSRP.
MSRP,
yeah, right. And there are plenty of cigars that's under $60. So you can get there, but all of a sudden, then, like I said, the problem is really that gouging. $18 cigar became $45. Nobody can afford it because it went beyond their price range, right? Yeah. And then you have people that selling $100 cigar. That's really a $5 cigar.
We got shop owner gouging. Now we have manufacturer gouging, and the guy that's blending it gouging. It's just everything is just leading to gouging prices,
right? And that's the price is really hurting the consumer, even though the past 2 years. Cigar sales has been going up because people have more time at home. Yeah, we've been buying more cigars, yet they had to go up in price because everything has become more costly. So instead of earning less, they want to earn more or the same amount. They're not willing to like, okay, I'm gonna eat that $2 difference per cigar.
I think most of them just right now are just trying to get back from that COVID year where everything just stopped for a little bit. And they're just trying to catch back up with the price or the money they lose from that year or whatever happened.
Well, that's the thing. Did they lose money? They sold more cigars.
Yeah, people were smoking more at home.
Yeah, they sold more cigars, so they did lose money.
But they did stop production for a little bit.
They did, and then actually makes the cigars more rare. They actually got more people wanting to buy more cigars because they feel like I'm not gonna be able to find cigars, so I'm gonna buy more and then stock at home.
No, that's true. I did smoke more when I was home.
Right? Everybody decided. People who doesn't usually buy boxes ended up buying boxes of cigars.
Yep.
Because you can't go to the shop to smoke anymore, so you're buying boxes of cigars to smoke at home. So they actually made more money, right? Technically made more money. Okay, yeah, things got more costly. Man hours and labor has cost more now. Box has cost more now. But if you calculate it down to per stick, they didn't raise the price by a lot. They raised the price by what, 15 to 75% per stick? Depends who it is.
75% is a lot.
15 to 75. Some raise a lot, some raise a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And okay, for those people who raise 15, like, do you really have to raise that?
Did they? Probably not.
15% of a $10 cigar is $1.50, and that's after Keystone. So that means 75 cents. They can't eat that for you. They had to make you pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not right. I mean, obviously, it is good business practice to adjust to costs. But at the same time, as a consumer, we gotta look at the consumer side, right? Why are we paying more?
Well, as a consumer, we ask that question all the time, right? As a consumer, so.
I mean, I understand that prices on cigars and prices on anything else is going to go up, and then that's why every year you have manufacturers increasing the prices on cigars, which is fine. It's going up a quarter. It's going up 50 cents, depending on what you're selling. So, but going and creating a cigar that's going to be fucking way out of someone's budget, I don't see the point in that.
I mean, other than the fact that they want specific type of people to smoke it.
Yep. But you know what? No. Go out and create a cigar that's out of somebody's budget. I understand that. But go out and create a cigar, the same cigar, but make it out of budget. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's the same fucking cigar. Why you charge them more?
Right, it's problem with the industry. I really think that some people just feel like I'm untouchable. I can make a cigar that's a penny, right? I just put this together a penny and I can make people buying it. Now Martin might not like this example, but look at McAuliffe A, right? It was a mixed filler.
Okay.
They got everybody excited and then charged whatever they want, and it turned out to be mixed filler. It's
True.
not a cheap cigar for mixed filler. Granted, it might be good for some people, but it is quite of a price gouging for a cigar that are mixed filler.
So here's what I'm going to say about McAuliffe. The McAuliffe A, great cigar, until I found out the price. Then I was like, well, what the fuck? It's a mixed filler cigar and they're charging this much. I don't see why they would do that.
And that's one example. I feel like, like it's a brand that says we're untouchable, we have fans behind us, they will buy it no matter what price it is, so let's set a price that I like.
It's sad that they put leftover tobacco and give you that kind of price.
Right? They know that they can do it.
State does that too.
Yeah, mixed filler is nothing new. But price
yeah,
range.
Mixed filler, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that they do it for mixed fillers, knowing that mixed filler cigar should cost somewhere between the $5 to $8 range. But nope, we're gonna jack it up the price because I know people will buy it. It doesn't necessarily cost that much, right? They didn't waste 1 million cigars to do that test blend and say, okay, we're gonna make that money back.
No, they literally just cut the leaf. Oh, we got leftover leaf, put it in there and sell it for more.
Right? We got leftovers. We got to use those. So let's make it into another cigar and let's use it in the name of the members, the ambassadors that we have, and let's make it expensive.
It's a new cigar.
And really the thing about cigar is any blend will be new. I change one thing, it'll be new. Right, I can be the same blend, and I decide to tape some. It could be a Habano cigar. I decide to tape a little line of Maduro's lines over it outside. Now it's a special cigar.
It's a new blend.
Yeah, now it's a brand new cigar, right? Because there's only so many tobaccos out there in the market, right? There's only so many variation of tobaccos out there, and the combination is limited. It's not limitless.
True. This is what Luis Cuevas of Casa Cuevas told us. He's like, anybody that tells you that they have rare exclusive tobacco, they're full of shit.
Right? So, that's the thing. Like, if it's something cigar tobacco that everybody else can get, if you pay enough money, you'll get it. And we're not talking about $1 million stash. We're talking about, I got, enough to make 10,000 cigars. Would you like it? Oh, yeah, I want to make a 10,000 stick cigar, so let's do that. Or not. Right? And it's not something unattainable. It's just choices, right? People blend in and say that tastes good. Okay, we'll release it.
Okay, so here's a question for you guys. Plasencia Cigars, what's their most expensive cigar?
Now?
Ethical?
Yeah.
That's the ethical.
Okay. So Plasencia doesn't have rare exclusive tobacco. They've got a shit ton of tobacco. They can make any cigar they want, and they make many cigars for other manufacturers. So what's the difference? Like, why are these companies charging so much more for just regular tobacco you can get from Plasencia?
Well, that's the difference, though. Plasencia, they do have separate crops for their own cigars. So they kind of like, they make everybody else's tobacco, and they rate their own cigar tobacco with tiers and stuff like that, and they choose the best for themselves. Okay, so I can see that, and here's the thing about Keystone, right? That cigar isn't that expensive to start with, but people jack it up because it's hard to get, right? It's not the price that you think of. It's actually $60 cigar. That means it's $30 worth of tobacco in there, well, plus labor and everything.
But my point is, they're not price gouging.
Well, I don't feel like they are pricing out that much. The thing is that they pride themselves in organic tobacco or something like that.
Yeah.
So when they do that, yes, it costs a little bit more. So when they making that, and plus what they have to pay for the design and to be related to FIFA, there is cost involved in that advertisement.
Yep.
So imagine if you want to link something to FIFA, that's really expensive. So when you do that raises the price. And
there's a name to it now. You're tying a market to it. It's a soccer cigar.
Right. And so now it has that thing. Just like, you know, I have a machine that has no name. It might cost $30. But once I work with Sony and I put Sony's name on that box, all of a sudden now it's $300. Why? Because Sony needs a chunk of that money. Right? So I wouldn't say that at the fall cigar is necessarily price gouging. I do understand that there is advertisement involved and there's this licensing involved. So when you do that, $10 cigar will literally become $30 cigar. Now the problem is Keystone again. You go Keystone, now it's $60 cigar. Even though it's $30. They shouldn't even Keystone that advertised cost, but they did.
Now I see it going for like $80, $90 now.
Oh, you bought it for $100, 117, right? And that's the store price.
No. That's different. That's a different one.
Okay,
that's the Opus actually.
So you'll buy in a higher price gouging price because now that cigar is hard to find. So the store will gouge it more on top of the Keystone, and that's a problem. That's a problem. I literally think they will sell more cigar and make more profit if they don't do that. If nobody does that. If they do the cigar industry is just straight Keystone but no gouging, they were able to sell more cigars. Yeah, it'll make their excuse is that I want more people to be able to try out this cigar. So I don't want to sell it to you at a regular price. I got to gouge out a little bit so that more people can try it. I got limited so that you can only buy one, so more people can try it, right? But that when you say more people can try it, that more people is still a small amount of people.
Very small.
Because now you just priced it out of most people's price range.
Once you start price gouging, it's difficult for other people to actually enjoy the cigar, you know?
Yeah.
Then you just have...
Price gouging is a problem. Price gouging is a problem. And that's definitely something I think the industry should... I don't know. It's not necessarily that we can rebel against the industry to say, hey, you need to not do that. I understand the shop needs to make money and all that stuff. But... you know, for those people who's listen to this podcast, you should really talk to, you know, if the store owner's your friend, say, hey, maybe not price gouge. Let's sell it to everybody. Sell it the right price, the right price that this cigar deserves. Not, you know, crazy amount of prices and gouge whatever penny you can get out of. Like, I went to some shop where they have Davidoff Royals. They were selling the Davidoff Royal at a gouged price, and then they want to sell the box separately.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, they were selling the box for $100. If you want the NT box, it's $100.
For the box?
Yep. And this kind of practice needs to stop. Needs to not be like that. You know, it's a bad practice, and I really feel like everybody should kind of bring out that a little bit. Now the store owner is not gonna be happy. He's like, hey, I'm running a business. Don't tell me how to run a business. I'm not making money. But we need to tell them that, hey, we're the consumers. If if price was lower, I would have bought more, right? If you don't go with the individual price, you go with quantity over the amount, we will buy more, right? If I save that $10-15 from not having to pay your gouge price, we will have another cigar, and you will actually move your inventory faster. You can actually get your inventory cheaper.
Yep.
Right? They don't think about that. Well, anyways, we need to cut up here because it's about an hour. We want to make our show just about an hour for the ease of listening. So we'll cut off here, and I hope everybody enjoyed this first one. And this is supposed to be a test recording, but I'm gonna cut it and gotta put it out there to test whether or not this fits your listening enjoyment. If you like it, make sure to let us know. Any comments, we'll take it by receiving an email to our email mailbox, soysauceassassin@shadowsmokeslegion.com. If you have any comments, you have any concern, if you have any feedback, send it to that email box. I'll read it, and then we'll take your feedback and make the show better. So that's it for the show today, and we'll see you in the next show. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
See you.